Hey guys, I hope you all are well. So I was just glad to come here and talk to you guys. So this is being made Friday, filmed Friday, May 19th. And I do want to say, I want to take a moment to, just a few moments to, say, you know, the death of President John Magufuli of Tanzania. Just to, say, that he rests in power, that his spirit lived on. I don't want to cry. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. The fact that he was standing up, against the WHO, the CDC, Babylon, Western powers, European powers, that was very admirable. So I just want to take a moment to just, send my condolences to the Tanzanian people and, say that, we're hurting with you here. And, our hearts, have been heavy since we discovered, and, we're going to rise above. We're going to rise above because it's written in the stars first, so. I'm here to talk about how your lifestyle can contribute to the onset of a mental illness. And in particular, I'm going to be talking about Alzheimer's and dementia. And one, I'll start off with, saying that if you know me, I've been studying like holistic health, alternative therapies, specifically in relation to how mental health can be healed, mental illnesses can be healed. And when I was studying, when I was in school and I was basically studying like the foundation and the coming of schizophrenia, as far as like where it started, how it was even began to be called schizophrenia. And it started in Greece, and of course this is a Mzungu origin. In my studies of Kemet, I have not found talk about mental illnesses, and it was because we were practicing spirituality, we were practicing meditation, we were in harmony with the environment and using natural elements to heal ourselves. And we've gotten so far away from that because now African spirituality and ancestral spirituality is like spooky to people, and it's been deemed as witchcraft by, religion, and that is really what healed us, so as far as like the pyramids, those are places where we were healing ourselves and meditating and using the natural elements to heal ourselves. So, when you do study, holistic health, naturopathic, alternative therapies and such, you will see that, things such as meditation, mindfulness practices, being present, straying away from being on autopilot, yoga, these things people, like studies have shown that you will see a change in, like, genetically. So you can literally reverse your genetic predisposition to an illness. And, we unlock our DNA, I would say, by practicing such, and ancient, Black people of Kemet were doing so. So, yeah, we literally have the power within ourselves to molecularly heal ourselves, and then that becomes, evident in the physical realm, evident to where we can see, on the outside. Genetically. And when it comes to like the collective unconscious and these traumas that have been passed down to us, like even the simple traumas of like fear, the taxes that were used as far as like causing fear to be put in a woman during her pregnancy. These are like things that have been passed down, all the traumas, all the pain from the moment we were overthrown in Kemet to up until slavery, and then now that's trickled down into this collective unconscious. And that's seeing the behaviors and the way that we conduct ourselves in society that kind of hold us back as far as being free and being sovereign within ourselves. And, fear is one of those things. But I do want to get on to particularly dementia and Alzheimer's. So this is one of those illnesses that are like highly, it holds a space in me because I have a genetic predisposition to it. Everyone before me has experienced that. As a child, I grew up helping take care of my great-grandmother who had dementia and Alzheimer's, and then my grandmother, who was her mom, had dementia and Alzheimer's, so I took care of her as well. So I do want to say what really leads to this, as far as, because I had went to that Human Body Works Museum, and you could see the brain of a person who had Alzheimer's, and there were no veins within the ventricles, I believe, if that's what they're called. I can't remember, guys. But there were no veins. It was like completely blank. So it was like that person was like literally at the point where they became a vegetable. So really what leads to this is amyloid protein buildup. And now I'm going to talk about the things that you can do to prevent it, and the things that you do to, basically facilitate and host and contribute to the onset of an illness. So, one, as far as not getting enough sleep, what causes the amyloid protein buildup in the brain is, not getting enough sleep, because when you are sleeping, your brain is doing its cleanup. Okay, that's one. Not eating properly and not sorry, I just had a brain freeze. Not eating properly, and what was I about to say? Oh, not exercising. So not living a lifestyle where you are sweating and releasing these toxins, because there's foods that we eat like blueberries that are good for our brain. There was something I referred to my friend, I believe is zinc, that's also good for your brain. Yeah, so these not getting enough sleep will really, contribute to an onset. And I'm talking about over this period of time throughout your life. You're constantly not getting enough sleep. Stress as well. Stress just makes it easier for these toxins and the amyloid protein to just do its thing and keep building up. And, it lowers your immune system, of course. And, yeah, it just creates an environment for, if you're not regulating and you're not properly dealing with your stress, it creates an environment in your body for viruses, toxins, etc. to build up and just have a party in your body. So yeah, that's really what happens when it comes to Alzheimer's. The amyloid protein buildup is what causes, it's the beginning of it, and just the continuous buildup is what leads to the deterioration and degeneration of the brain and the mind and the faculties, memory. So yeah, and I was thinking, connecting dots maybe, some of our coping mechanisms. I wish I could remember which one. It's not suppression. Is it regression? It's when you forget traumatic or things that happen, and that can be something that has been passed down in the collective that also kind of contributes to these illnesses. Well, this illness in particular. I'm just making a supposition. So that's me connecting dots and making a supposition, but definitely drinking enough water, getting sleep, because your brain is doing its cleanup. That's why I don't play about my sleep, because I already have a genetic predisposition for this. And yeah, and your brain got to do its cleanup, because when you haven't got proper sleep, your thinking is not as sharp, your cognitive functioning is not at its best. That's why you're gonna be you may not catch things that you would catch if you had enough rest. Of course, you're not gonna be able to remember things as well. So definitely that exercise, sweating those toxins, releasing those toxins, and this plays a role in preventing illness, period, is when you are releasing those toxins and you're sweating and you're exercising. And I know it kind of sucks to sweat sometimes. I mean, I don't mind sometimes, but sometimes you don't want to sweat. Some people don't like to sweat at all. But nobody has time for being cute when your life and your health and your healing depends on it, right? You need to sweat out these toxins. That's how your body is doing what it needs to do to maintain itself, and it's doing homeostasis. You're assisting your body in doing that, and you're keeping yourself healthy. So yeah, 1 second. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to touch on. Also, I'll give a few things. Rosemary is good for memory, cognitive functioning, is that herb. Also, eucalyptus for mental clarity. So yeah, blueberries, I forgot exactly, but that's a good brain food. Zinc is also, I can't talk. Well, is it molecularly important, I believe, it's molecularly, I can't talk, molecularly assisting and important as far as structurally when it comes to the brain. I can't remember, but I did recommend it to my friend when she had her concussion, and it helped her. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that briefly. I feel as though Western Eurocentric society has made science and neuroscience, and science in particular, they tend to make it complicated with this grandiloquence and the high technology. You feel like you really need to have the money to conduct research with fancy, expensive equipment, but you can really make things simplistic, and that was my attempt here. So I really hope you guys, it was simplistic enough as far as, you know, the understanding and how, you know, this stress and that comes with, you know, living is some of this unnecessary stress that a lot of us deal with, in particular those who live in, you know, the European Western power stations of the world, as far as like survival and money and stuff like that. The certain stresses that you experience in these environments are not stresses that you experience in, you know, what people will call third world places that are not really third world, you know, more like first world, where civilization began, you know, in these places where early civilizations existed, and, you know, those high natural resources are there. You know, the stresses that we experience here, they're not experienced elsewhere. So yeah, so we want to be cognizant of that and, be combating it. So that's all. And I assume this was helpful for you. I thank you for watching. Love, peace, blessings. See ya.